Good morning, students. Again, your science teacher Ashutosh Ranjan has come to discuss some new points for your first chapter, that is the green plants food producers. As I have discussed so many points for your first chapter in my previous videos, I have discussed about requirement and necessity of chlorophyll and sunlight for the preparation of food for the plants. As plants prepare food, they need chlorophyll, sunlight, and these are essential components. Plants prepare food in the in the form of sugar, and these simple sugar as well as glucose is are stored in different parts of plant, as in some plants in root, in some stem, and in some leaves. In the form of starch, means remaining part of food of plant is stored in different parts of plants in form of starch, and the presence of starch is tested by using iodine solution. When starch mixed with iodine solution, it turns its color blue-black. If color of that part, that substance is changed into blue-black color, dark blue-black color, that shows the presence of a starch in that material. So, remaining food of plant is stored in plant parts in the form of a starch, and it is tested by using the chemical iodine solution. So, this is discussed and is tested in your third activity. Now, I will discuss some different points today. Next point is some special plants. As I have told you that green plants have capacity to prepare their own food, and this is due to presence of chlorophyll. Due to presence of chlorophyll in green plants, plants show its color green, and chlorophyll help in performing photosynthesis. But some special types of plants are also found which do not perform photosynthesis, and as well as they also get their nutrition in different ways. So first I will discuss about some non-green plants. Those plants which have lack of chlorophyll, whose color is not green. So these plants are known as non-green plants, and as well as saprophytic plants. These plants do not perform photosynthesis. Non-green plants as saprophytic plants do not perform photosynthesis, and they get their nutrition from dead and decaying matters. Non-green plants as well as saprophytic plants get their nutrition from dead and decaying organic matters, as well as these plants are mushroom, mold, fungi. These are some non-green plants, and due to lack of chlorophyll, they cannot perform photosynthesis. They get their nutrition from dead and decaying matters, and these plants are called as non-green plants as well as saprotrophs or saprophytes. So this is a special type of plant. Next type of a special plants, that is parasitic plant. In this type of plant, green plants also comes. Some non-green plants and green plants, both types of plants come in this group, that is parasitic plants, and plants of this group depend upon other plants for their food requirement. They get their food from other plant, and their mode of nutrition is called parasitic nutrition. They either perform photosynthesis or as they get help to other plant. So plant which help them are called as host plant, and plant which get help, which provide help are host plant, and which get help are called as parasitic plant. Parasitic plants are amarvel, dodar. These are plants which either perform photosynthesis or not, but they depend upon other plants for their food requirement, food need. So these plants are called as parasitic plant because for their food requirement they depend upon other plants. Some other plant is also cactus. Simply we know that leaves of any plant perform photosynthesis, but in cactus their leaves turn into a spine to reduce the loss of water, because cactus grow in those areas where there is deficiency of water. So their leaves turn into a spine to reduce loss of water, to reduce rate of transpiration. So color of their leaves may be green or not. So their stems perform photosynthesis. Means in cactus plant stems contain chlorophyll and stems carry on photosynthesis, means preparation of food is performed by, preparation of food is done by a stem in cactus plant. So these are some special types of plants which are different to general plants. Some get their nutrition from other plants, those are parasitic plants. Some plants get nutrition from dead and decaying matter, those are non-green plants, as well as saprophytic plants, saprotrophs, and some cactus plants. In some cactus plants their stems perform photosynthesis. So their features are different to general plants. So these are called as some special plants, special features of plants. Next point I will discuss interdependency of plants or animals, because as we know that plants need some raw materials to perform photosynthesis. For the photosynthesis, plant needs some special types of some raw materials. So in this term, carbon dioxide is very important factor for photosynthesis. So when plants perform photosynthesis, it needs carbon dioxide but release oxygen. This oxygen is used by animals and humans, and then animals and humans release carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide is used by plants. Means plants and animals depend upon each other for their food requirement and for their survival of life. If plants and animals do not exist, if animals and humans do not exist on the earth, then plants will not get carbon dioxide, and if plants do not exist on the earth, then animals and humans will not get oxygen. So plants, animals and humans, all everyone depends upon each other, some for oxygen and some for carbon dioxide. If any of them do not exist, their requirement will be not completed. Their requirement will not be completed. So they they interdependent to each other, means plant depend upon humans and animals for carbon dioxide, and animals depend upon plants for their oxygen need. So this is the interdependency of plants and animals on each other. Now next point of your first chapter is balance in nature. Plants, dependency of plants and animals play a very important role to make balance in nature, as plants produce carbon dioxide. Plants use carbon dioxide, and animals and humans use this oxygen and release carbon dioxide. If the number of any of them increase or decrease, it may cause unbalancement of carbon dioxide and oxygen on the earth, because oxygen is very important for existence of life on the earth. If number of plant is decreased by disturbing them, by cutting them, the amount of oxygen on the earth will be also decreased. In this case, in this situation, animals and humans will not get proper amount of oxygen. So to make balance on the earth, we should protect trees, we should plant more and more trees which make the balance on the earth. For this, several programs has been initiated by different organizations of our country, as वन महोत्सव, चिपको आंदोलन, एपिको आंदोलन, एपिको महोत्सव, चिपको महोत्सव, एपिको मूवमेंट, चिपको मूवमेंट, वन महोत्सव. These are movements, these are programs by which peoples are motivated to protect forests, to protect plants, and plants play very important role to make a very healthy and balanced environment. If number of plant is decreased, it causes unbalancement of oxygen on the earth, and it will be very dangerous for survival of life. So to make the environment safe and healthy, we should always protect plants, and we should also plant more and more trees. So I think now I have discussed all points of your first chapter, and this chapter has been finished. Next time I will meet with you with some new points of your science book. Thank you. Have a nice day.